Was geht, Köln? Seid ihr gut drauf? Ja, schön, dass ihr alle da seid. Es werden auch irgendwie immer mehr. Und ich liebe es, dass dieser Gang einfach bis zum Ende gefüllt ist. Und ja, Sven und ich sind hier. Ich bin die Melli, so nebenbei. Hallo, ich darf euch die ganze Woche auf die Nerven gehen. Da freue ich mich schon wahnsinnig drauf. Und der ein oder andere hat es sicherlich schon auf dem Schedule mitbekommen. Wir sind bereit für unser großartiges Showmatch in Heroes of the Storm, Brawlmania!
Yeah, und die erste Runde der Brawlmania heißt
Aliens
versus Marines.
So, dafür brauchen wir natürlich auch Caster. Unsere Teams stellen wir euch gleich vor. Wie ihr vielleicht verstanden habt, sind die Teams in Themes aufgeteilt. Also sprich, die Teams müssen sich jeweils den Heroes aus, die diesem Thema untergeordnet werden können, quasi bedienen. Es wird großartig. Also ich habe schon viel Gutes gehört. Wir haben auf jeden Fall eine riesengroße Erwartungshaltung an dieses Spiel. Und ich weiß nicht, habt ihr Bock auf Brawlmania? Super, deswegen würde ich sagen, wir holen direkt mal unsere zwei Topcaster für diese Top-Begegnung auf die Bühne. Begrüßt mit mir Asmugel und Naomi.
Dicker Applaus. Kommt ihr zwischen uns, Jungs?
Ja.
Ja,
So.
mal zur ersten Frage direkt. Es ist ja vollkommen klar, dass die erste Runde von den Marines gewonnen wird.
Ja.
Warum bist du der Meinung, dass die Marines gegen die Aliens gewinnen und die keinerlei Chance haben?
Weil sie einfach tausendmal cooler sind.
Ja.
Und ich auch auf die Marines stehe einfach.
Yeah.
Das
zocken
sagen
bis zum
immer
Umfallen.
die Leute, denen die Argumente fehlen. Deswegen, Naomi, sag mir, warum werden die Aliens das Ganze mit nach Hause
Ja,
nehmen?
die Aliens sind einfach viel mächtiger. Also wirklich, die anderen stehen alle hinten, Fernkämpfer und so weiter. Und die Aliens werden richtig drauffahren.
Und
alles
gehen
zerstören.
richtig ins X.
Auf jeden
Ne?
Fall.
Ja, auf jeden Fall freue ich mich da schon wahnsinnig drauf. Wir haben ja den einen oder anderen Community Darling hier mit eingepackt. Leute, auf die man sich definitiv freuen kann in unserer Partie Brawlmania. Und ja, ich würde sagen, ich darf euch an eure Caster-Stühle begeben. Und vielleicht hier, welcome to our audience that is following us on the stream. You can go and take your seat in your casting area. Thank you very much. And of course, we will have an English cast for this one.
Absolutely. This is going to be behind the scenes, behind the lines, and you will have it online on our stream that is going on during the match. And the name of the game for the English speakers is certainly Brawlmania. And the first round is, as you could have guessed, Aliens versus Marines. This is not really serious gameplay of Heroes of the Storm, but it is promising a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and we're going to throw a big-ass party up here. And yes, as you may have noticed, Alien versus Marine means that the other teams have to choose within those themes. So they have to play heroes that could be like related to the alien race, and of course heroes that are related to the Marines. And yes, people, this is going to be great fun. So we already welcomed our casters on stage, which are Asmugel and Naomi, of course. But before we head too deep into what we have to show, for everyone here on site, we do have free Wi-Fi for you guys. Isn't that amazing? Who needs Wi-Fi? Yeah?
Who doesn't?
Could do, right? in a crowded place where the mobile service doesn't work too well. So people, you should see somewhere up here the Wi-Fi details for you guys to use. So it's Blizzard at Gamescom. Log in with the password Gamescom, capital G, if I'm not mistaken.
So ist es, genau.
Ja.
Da könnt ihr auch direkt mal checken, eure Wi-Fi-Einstellungen. Das ist Blizzard at Gamescom und ihr seht das, könnt ihr sofort verwenden. Dann schickt uns Fotos, schickt uns Tweets, schickt uns irgendwas, wenn sie gut sind, wenn sie originell sind. Zum
Oder auch
Beispiel
wenn sie
hinten
nicht
von
gut
der
sind, das macht
Freezebox.
nichts.
Dann kommen sie hier auf den Screen, auf den Social Media Screen, an den Seiten hier.
Aber
unseres
nur,
großen Screens.
wenn ihr das Hashtag Gamescom 2016 benutzt. Also wisst ihr auf jeden Fall Bescheid. Hier links seht ihr die Wi-Fi-Details. Nutzt es mal und schreibt uns mal über Twitter, ob unsere IT-System-Admins hier gute Arbeit geleistet haben, ob das WLAN stabil läuft. Wenn nicht, kümmern wir uns natürlich sofort drum. Aber ich denke, es wird es aushalten.
Ja, und ich glaube, Melli, wir haben doch auch noch einen Preis am Ende der Brawlmania zu vergeben,
ja,
oder?
Oh ja. Und vor allen Dingen auch danach noch eine Autogrammstunde, die wir nicht vergessen
So ist es.
dürfen. So, deswegen würde ich sagen, wir gucken einmal auf unsere wundervolle Trophäe, die wir hier bereitgestellt haben, vorne auf der rechten Seite. Und ja, darum geht es. Dieses wunderschöne Ding wartet auf den Gewinner. Wir werden mehrere Runden spielen. Es gibt nicht nur eine.
Genau, morgen gibt es nochmal eine Runde Brawlmania.
Nee, ich meine, wir werden noch mehrere Runden hier auf der Bühne spielen.
So ist es. Die erste Runde ist Aliens vs. Marines. Die zweite verraten wir noch nicht.
Der eine oder andere kann sich das vielleicht schon denken.
Ja, wenn es so Themen gibt. Die Gewinner der jeweiligen beiden Runden werden dann um den ersten Platz spielen hier heute.
Genau, ich denke, wir haben das jetzt genug aufbereitet. Ja, ich freue mich schon richtig. Es wird auf jeden Fall wahnsinnig lustig. Allein die Kontrahenten versprechen einiges. Deswegen würde ich sagen, wir freuen uns jetzt mal auf die Spieler.
Mit den Marines. Von links auf die Bühne bitte. Das sind schon die Sieger. Mal einen dicken Applaus.
Naja, wir werden das Ganze gewinnen.
Haben sie gut wie gewonnen. Und hier haben wir Duncan. This is Duncan, the team captain of the Marines. Okay, like with the showcasters, can you tell us why are the Marines far superior and will certainly win this first round?
All right. You shoot a nuke down a bug hole, you get a lot of dead bugs.
Ja. Ja, sie haben einige tote Käfer. Okay, Käfer, ja.
Käfer.
Nicht schlecht, okay.
All right, Duncan. Thank you very much.
Log in.
Go to your team and hype them up because they look too focused for my taste, to be honest.
Totally, yeah, but they
You will
realize.
They will cry later, I know. Die werden später noch weinen, denn jetzt begrüßen wir zusammen die Aliens.
Dicker Applaus.
Die kommen nicht raus,
Die
wenn ihr
trauen
nicht
sich
klatscht.
nicht.
How's it going?
I'm very well, how are you?
I'm good. I mean, you have to dismantle some Marines.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to go up against them. We're going to have to beat them. Should be good.
I think you're gonna beat them. You don't have to beat them. Otherwise, we too have a
We'll be
problem
fine.
afterwards.
Yeah, no, we'll have to beat them in the game.
Okay, good, good. So, how did you prepare? You feel good?
All of us actually played a whole lot of practice matches, so we all made sure that we at the very least, knew the matchup. And we all practiced our heroes for at least, a whole lot of hours, and many of us, have played thousands of matches in total, so we should be good.
And that should be a good base, right? That should be a good base for heading up against the Marines and properly stomp them.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be the goal. We have to try our very best, but I'm confident.
All right, thank you very much. A big round of applause for the aliens. Go to your team, prepare. Ja, Sven, wie gesagt, der englische Cast wird jetzt gleich das Spiel übernehmen. Wir für uns haben natürlich unsere großartigen deutschen Caster, die euch nicht alleine lassen werden und durch diese wahnsinnige Partie Brawlmania führen werden. Wir werden hier Spaß haben, Leute. Hier steht das Serious Gaming nicht an erster Stelle. Vielleicht sehen wir ein paar neue coole Kombos, die sich dann später auch im E-Sport behaupten. Man weiß es ja nicht.
Man weiß es nicht.
Man weiß es nicht. Ich bin auf jeden Fall gespannt. Und Sven, ich denke, das war es von unserer Seite. Denn unsere Caster sind soweit fertig. Wir loggen gerade ein. Okay, dann können wir euch ja noch erklären, dass ihr später natürlich die ganzen Heroes, die ihr jetzt gleich sehen werdet, hier vorne rechts an unserer Heroes Booth ausprobieren dürft. Und das Coole ist, jedes einzelne Spiel, was wir hier sehen, hat auf jeden Fall neuen Content.
Absolut. In sämtlichen Boxes, an allen 500 PCs, wird eine Kleinigkeit so sein, dass sie nicht genauso auf euren PCs läuft. Zum Beispiel gibt es bei StarCraft einen neuen Helden zu spielen, der noch nicht da gewesen ist. Und so gibt es bei jedem dieser Boots hier etwas zu sehen, was neu ist oder besonders
Wir wollen euch das natürlich nicht spoilern. Bei Overwatch gibt es eine neue Map, kann ich schon mal sagen. Was für eine Map das ist, könnte ich euch verraten. Die spielt auf jeden Fall mal in Deutschland zur Abwechslung.
Ne? Hat auch so einen soliden deutschen Namen.
So,
ne?
Genau, richtig. Ja. Und vor allen Dingen auch gutes Holz überall.
Ja, genau.
Ne?
genau.
Ja,
Also.
Könnt ihr euch selber anschauen, da hinten rechts in der Overwatch-Booth natürlich. Und wie gesagt, im Anschluss gibt es auch eine Signing-Session mit unseren ganzen YouTubern, Influencern, wie ihr sie hinter uns seht. Kennt ihr den einen oder anderen davon?
Jemand bekannt?
Ja.
Fans von den YouTubern hier hinter euch? Ja, nach der Show da hinten rechts, muss man sagen. Ne? Da ist die Booth für die Signing-Sessions. geht vorbei, holt euch ein Autogramm
Und falls ihr es
und
nicht
steht
wisst,
damit
wer
an.
das
Ne?
seid, habt keine Angst. Wir haben auf jeden Fall genug Namensschilder vor denen liegen. Dann könnt ihr das auf jeden Fall nachlesen. Und ja,
Oft kennt man ja die Gesichter nicht von den Leuten.
Genau,
Ne? Guckt die
richtig.
Streams und
ich kenne das. Ich kenne
Ja,
das
ja,
gut.
ja.
Ich muss zu meiner Schande gestehen, ich könnte auch nicht alle einzeln benennen. Aber ja, wie gesagt, für unseren englischen Stream haben wir auch einen Shoutcaster, der hier unsere Heroes-Matches im Ganzen, nicht nur das heute, sondern auch das am Freitag und am Samstag und am Sonntag mit einem englischen Cast unterlegen wird. Als Muggel und Nomi werden uns hier natürlich auf der Bühne begleiten und ja, es wird auf jeden Fall eine richtig lustige Kiste. Die
Genau.
drücken sich gerade.
And now it is time for me, the host, preparing everyone on stage for the matches, but it is time for Brawlmania, everyone. And we have some spectacular matches. You saw the introduction there, but we have Aliens versus Marines, a super cool matchup, which is going to be very interesting due to the fact that anyone who knows a little thing about professional heroes is seeing that the Aliens have a tank but no support, whereas the Marines have a support but no tank, and no, Abatha does not count as a support. And I've been chatting to the players a little bit earlier, and Merlo, who's going to be playing the Abatha, who could have given his team maybe a little bit of sustain, has decided that he's probably going to go split push build. As they mentioned on stage, these matches probably not going to be the most serious, but they're definitely going to be fun. And this is going to be like the first, it's going to be the first casted match on the new maps. You've already been seeing them being played by Grubby, who's been in the streaming area. I believe 2-8 has also been playing a little bit of them as well. So you've got to see a little bit. Now we're going to see it from the overall perspective, and I am incredibly excited. I don't know what the map is. We have not been told. They're being picked at random, basically. So no one's really had a huge amount of chance to prepare, but I've been playing a whole lot of both of them, and they're super fun, as well as the new hero. But it looks like we are getting prepared for the Brawlmania as part of the Machines of War. We're going to be seeing those StarCraft max. That is Loco getting prepared to play Nasera, also on the Aliens team. Everyone getting prepared for that. That is Game Day already. I can't pronounce that name very well. And Minerve and Merlo as the final player. Merlo playing the Abatha, like I said. And our lovely, lovely German casters. Super cool guys. Going to be having a great time with them and chatting up later. And on the side of the Marines team, it is Wartek, Zydar, Necro, Duncan, and Shin. Duncan looking very excited. The rest of his team looking very focused. Duncan going to be playing the Lieutenant Morales in this one. He probably shouldn't be that excited, actually, considering some of the heroes on the Aliens team, because he could, in theory, if the Aliens team could get some coordination, have a very rough time. But yeah, we'll be finding out the map very shortly and then heading into the game. But for now, the lineups, if you guys are interested, for the Aliens team is going to be Dahaka being played by Loco, Kerrigan by Nasera, Zagara by Game Day, Tychus by Minerve, and Abatha by Merlo. Whereas on the Marines team, it is Tychus, the real one, not the infested one this time, being played by Wartek, Reyna being played by Zydar, Nova by Necro, and Morales by Duncan, and Sergeant Hammer by Shin. Another hero who may be having a little bit of difficulty. Got a great crowd outside. I was here yesterday for the press day, and as always, the press day, much less packed, and now it is just a humongous pain to walk literally anywhere in this event. But it looks like we are getting ready to head into the game. It's going to be super, super fun. There's an Abatha hat in that crowd. I want it. What the hell? Where do you get that? It's on the Blizzard store, I'm pretty sure, so I will have to see if I can sneak one away from this. Now we're over to the German casters, so we're going to be getting into the game as soon as possible and finding out which of the new maps we're going to be seeing. In theory, I expect it should be the Warhead Junction, due to the fact that the Zerg, yes, it is Warhead Junction, a bit more of a Terran-focused map, so maybe a bit of a Marine advantage there. And we're loading in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Warhead Junction. This is a 3-lane map. And spawning on the left-hand side is the Marines. Duncan playing that Morales, Zydar on the Reyna, Shin on the Hammer, Wartek on the Tychus, and hiding somewhere in the base is Nova, being played by Necro there. And here we go. You can see everything very Terran-focused. We got very similar to planetary fortresses being used as the keeps and the forts. And they look quite a bit like missile turrets, the actual towers here. And on the right-hand side, it is the Aliens. It is the Sera on that Kerrigan Loco on the Dahaka. Looks like they're going to be laning together for gank potential. Minerve on the Tychus. Game Day on the Zagara. And in the bot lane, Merlo has actually been left alone on the Abatha in the bot lane. Looks like we have a lot of master skins, but Tychus, the betrayer for his team here, actually playing for both. and my game sound has become super loud and super deafening in my ear. I'm going to attempt to turn that down. But here we go. We see both teams dancing around the inside here, looking for an opportunity. Tychus going for a bit of poke. Shin sieging up to try and get some quick damage on. Minerve dropping the grenade to try and get some counter damage as well. We're seeing Rainer starting off with the seasoned marksman. Up at the top here, Hammer with the extra damage on the longer range. So that's going to be quite interesting, seeing what kind of use they can make for that. And Tychus with that extra dash. Abathur starting off with Mind Star for now, not going for that extra locus duration or that extra radius on his W on that on those spines. So not going to be able to get anything. And here we have Nova left to solo a lane. This is never a good idea. We'll see how well this works out. Dahaka has total does to the bot lane. See if he can grab anything. No. The drag comes out. Not able to grab Shin. That's what they're going for. A very nice lane combination from the Marines here with Shin and Duncan laning together. Both co-workers in real life on the Yogscast. But they're staying in their own little lane, just going to attempt to keep the pressure on. And at a certain time in the map, we will be seeing the nuclear items spawn. For those who don't know, the nuclear items work where you can only pick up one per hero, but there will be multiple spawning at the same time. If you die while holding that nuclear item, it will drop, and the other team or one of your teammates can pick it up. However, it is a channel to pick it up. If you get interrupted on that channel, you're going to have a rough time and you will have to start again. So we're seeing Nova come in behind Game Day here. Revenant trying to drop the damage. Here comes Zydar as well. They get the kill. That is first blood. Going over to the Marines. Zagar, the Broodmother, being taken out here. And that is a good head start. Jhin coming in, looking for some poke. But right now, bit outnumbered in the lane, but Dahaka has left. Moving to the mid lane. Top lane has been completely abandoned so far. Loco regressing. Coming into this lane with Tigers here as well. That mini-go could do damage. They're starting off instead with a spray and pray, though. And the nuclear items are spawning. One in the mid lane, which the Marines have control of. One in the bot lane, which is very much Zerg focused. Tigers in a super weird siege up position, but he's trying to protect Duncan here. Here comes Minerve, but Hammer gets the kill there onto the Tigers at least. And is now trying to drop some damage onto Nasera as well. Re-sieging up, but he's lost vision. Abathur's trying to put mines under him. Abathur actually takes super far forward, super aggressive. The pull does not land from Nasera, but the mine does. Can Shin continue to delay this? Siege is up. He has the vision. He's able to do the damage. Those objectives are vision for everyone. But Dahaka coming in, get out of there, Shin. You can't afford to be caught by Kerrigan and the Dahaka here. You will be in trouble. Sieging up, bad plan. Boosts out, but gets pulled back in by Kerrigan. And that is going to be the nuclear item going over to the Marines here. Looks like, where happened to, to the Zerg here, the aliens, and where'd the other one go? I guess they have him, it's just not showing up at the little icon on the bottom of the map here. There's a nuke being used by Nasera here, not actually going to hit anything here. We'll actually hit the minion wave, so we'll clear that up a bit. But those do a lot of damage. It is better to use them on the buildings, but none of these people have played these maps before. This is all very new to them. I think we have like 2 people playing total. So that's going to be quite interesting. In level 4 talents, we are going to be seeing the Morales taking the advanced block against Kerrigan. Very good idea. Need to get that protection in. Not so much against Tychus. Tychus sort of shreds through that due to his attack speed. Shin coming in, surprise. They're trying to chase down Nasera. Super aggressively sieges up and gets dragged by Loco. Assisting with the chase, actually. Loco taking a huge amount of damage. He will escape here, but loses half his health. Here you will have to check his adaptation a bit later on to get that health up or grab a fountain. Looks like adaptation was the name of the game. There are mercenary camps spread around this map as well. Here we have the Viking mercenary camp along with the lovely Raven. Actually, I think those are Goliaths. I think I may have said that wrong. And the Hellions in the bottom lane. And, of course, the Swarm hosts. They are annoying in StarCraft. They're deadly here. When you see a boss attempt, it's going to be fun because that thing does a lot of damage. Shin boosting away, getting healed by Duncan. Also a safeguard to make sure that nothing bad goes down. So really good job there. Once again, sieging up, getting the poke onto this area who has to dive in. So she's going to take at least a shot or two in order to get in range there. And we'll need Abathur's help, who has once again gone for another mine build. Very mine-focused, which is cool. You can pick up a nuke on Abathur. You can really get some good worth out of it and get some serious damage. So right now, it is once again the Hammer Morales lane, which is doing really well in the bot lane, doing huge damage to Minerve there. Just really pushing her back, and Hammer just wrecking everything. Because right now, the gang potential isn't really working. Even Abathur has actually decided to walk up to a different lane. Revenant just continuing to not focus minions. It is just focusing down Game Day. And may actually get the kill here. Going to be close. Not going to be enough. Hologram tanks the towers. Very nice play by Revenant here. Slight gank attempt by Wartech and Zydar trying to push out Loco here. But Nasera roaming up as well. Notice they're going to use the time to clear this one out. And I still didn't see who on the Marines has the nuclear item unless they've already used it and I missed it. I do not have control of the camera, by the way. It is 100% in control of the Germans at the moment. but that is fine. So Revenant deciding to roam around the map, abandoning mid lane for a bit. Zagara playing very far back because of how much fear Nova has instilled in her because of the amount of damage she does. And here we go. Revenant coming in from behind, finds the Kerrigan, bursts her down super quick, and is now chasing Loco. But if she chases too far, she's going to be in trouble. Abathur on the head of Loco as well. If Loco could turn around and get the drag here, he might be able to pull Revenant under tower. Not able to do it though, but here we go. Nuclear items once again available. And we're seeing them everywhere. One in the top lane, two in the middle jungle area, and one in the bottom area. Merlo, once again, super far forward. Looks like he wants a nuclear item for himself. That's going to be really interesting. See how well Abathur can put that down. They do have a rage. They are not global, so he does have to be near. Wow, the gank from Wartech there, and Revenant able to take down Zagara easily. And now going on to Loco, but Loco, he has the Abathur on his head. He's pushing down. He's already taken out Nova. Wanted to try and get Tychus as well, but Tychus was just able to retreat there. Very nice play by Wartech, but the good turnaround by Loco and Merlo able to get the damage off. And Shin starting on that fort. They're about to push in. Here comes Merlo, dropping the nuke. The center does a bit more damage, but the area does huge damage, taking down the fountain, most of the tower. And you can see that big chunk of damage. Here comes the Sarah, this time directly onto the fort. Like I said, the center does more damage, so that will chunk it. Look at that damage. Nuclear launch onto the fort there. And that fort is in serious trouble. No mules have been taken by either team. Red team hero slain. In comes the precision strike there by Nova, and the stim drone on the hammer. There's the siege mode trying to do some damage, but Nova in the background. Last shot doesn't hit, and the kill doesn't hit. No, here comes the missile, and he gets the kill, grabbing Tychus with the BFG there. What a great shot by Shin, and that brings the kill count up from for 5 to 3 here in favor of the Marines. And I believe there is. Did they actually pick up any of the nuclear items? I expect they got the bot lane one. I have no idea. There, the counter at the bottom of the lane, as the bottom of the map, like we said, does not appear to work. Here comes the laser by Tychus, trying to get to Sarah, but it is not enough, so instead here comes Hyperion. But Loco with the good move there, but it wasn't enough, takes too much damage. Even his adaptation isn't enough. Wartech very nearly dying to a mine. Merlo beginning to chase, he wants Wartech, but in comes Wartech with the push there, with that overkill there, and he is able to retreat. Merlo back into the mid lane. Just going to chill out there and just symbiote his team. Not going to be too far forward because he's too worried about Nova. Does not want to get picked off here, but we've already seen most of the heroics. The BFG Dahaka picked off in the bottom lane as well as the fort. So we have here, like we said, the BFG for the Sergeant Hammer, the Draken Laser Drill for Tychus, Hyperion for the Raider, and Morales was dragged out of it there. She took the Stim Drone and Precision Strike for Nova, which is once again off cooldown. Whereas on the alien team, actually, we do have Nidus Worm coming in for Zagara. We'll keep an eye on that, see what she can do. Isolation for Dahaka, the Maelstrom coming in for the Kerrigan. And we've seen the Firebats getting started there. Good interruption of that overkill by Loco using the drag. Now he's chasing forwards, trying to get the kill. Precision Strike only hits the Draken Laser, which is now focusing onto Nova. But they weren't able to grab Wartech in time, weren't able to finish him off. But Kerrigan comes in for Zidar. Stun lands, and that's enough for the kill. But Shin, Revenant, and Duncan have come from behind. There's the Stim Drone onto Hammer. She's silenced, but it doesn't matter. Hammer does huge damage, but we've already seen Morales get taken down. There's the drag to stop Hammer from attacking, and she gets taken out. Great rotations by the alien team there. They will take down this fort as well. And that is the aliens beginning to take a bit of a lead here. They hit level 13 first, and as such will get their talents. And more nuclear warheads are spawning on the map right now. And we're seeing the aliens beginning to take a bit of domination. Abathur continuing to soak the lane for his team. Dahaka also coming up here as well. But it looks like Abathur wants that nuke. He wants to be able to pick that up, and Zagara looking for the second one. The two heroes with global presence, being able to grab those nukes and rotate to where they're needed. You can drop them on heroes. They do a very large amount of damage if you do, but it's a big area. You need to hold them still in time. So Zagara gets that one. It was Loco who got the one in the top lane, also with the global potential, so not needing to put it on Abathur, which is a bit risky. Dropping it straight away, finds Zidar for his trouble, who is going to try and chase him down, but that nuke will take down the tower there and do a big chunk of damage to that fort. Once again, you can get the single target damage, the center of that nuke onto something, it will do way more damage. So we're seeing game day beginning to push forward a bit. Once again, just spreading creep with Zagara. He's got those nice ones around the map. Loco, in a very unfortunate situation, insanely outnumbered, is picked off by the entirety of the Marine team, who are continuing to roam around. There are two bosses on this map, remember. One in the top lane and one in the middle jungle from the lower side. So it's very interesting to see if they decide to maybe roam into those areas. So Nasera and Minerva right now pushing in this bottom lane. They have that mercenary camp, those firebats, and the clone tigers. They're just going to push in this super aggressively. In comes the nuke once again, using the big AoE damage, not using the single target onto anything. They hit all the buildings though. Fountain goes down. And with the minions, they're now going to be able to take down this fort as well. The Marines are on the way, though. They have a mercenary camp up the top lane with that lovely Raven and the Goliaths here. So that's going to be in the protection. But here comes the Marines. The fort's already dead, but they still want it. Duncan leading the charge. Maybe not so wise. Almost runs into Loco. That would have been disastrous. Now runs into everyone. Demounts the Sarah. But takes a huge amount of damage. Kerrigan jumps in super deep, gets a huge stun on everyone. Precision strike. The boss has been aggroed, but the Marines are being decimated here. Their stim drone wipes out Tigers, though, turns it around onto Loco. The damage is insane here. This boosted as well to make sure there is no escape. Loco goes down, even with the stealth. Now it's just game day. The boss is aggroed. In come the Banelings to get the kill. Nova gets it, but the Banelings from the boss nearly kill Revenant. He needs to get out of their Shin. Also, trying to micro away. That boss is not going to be captured. That is so much damage. Fighting in that area is very risky, almost suicidal here. And we're going to see Revenant moving in, continuing to just de-push his lane. Oh no, Merlo! Hunter Seeker missile from the Raven, trying to run away. It's not enough for a kill, but it's damn close. It does a lot of damage. You need to be careful of that. You need to get some kind of shield or protection on you to avoid that from happening ever again. Right now, though, we're going to be seeing the Marines taking the objective here, but that's done from Nasera. Set that up to be a really good fight for the aliens, but because that boss got aggroed and Shin was left basically unattended after that stim drone, that turned so quickly. You can see Abatha has put mines for days around this area, so everyone needs to be super careful that they don't get interrupted. Nukes spawning all around the map. 2 in the top lane this time, which is where the aliens are, so they have a bit of a positional advantage here. But their top lane is pushed up too, so they can actually de-push and grab these mercenaries as well. The Marines not having it. They decided instead of going for the mercenary caps in the bottom lane, in the mid lane, they're instead going to rotate up to the top lane and maybe look for a fight to try and take an advantage, but they are a talent down. Maybe not the wisest choice here. They need to get 16 first. Instead, Tigers gets dragged, gets Kerrigan, precision strike, hits everyone. So does the BFG though, but Morales is already dead before she can even stim drone. It only just came off cooldown as well. Shin takes down Kerrigan though, and they're not going to get much more. Merlo's here for some reason. Get out of there, dude. He is gone. But Zydar now pushing in, trying to get control of the objective. Dragon Laser Drone does not have vision. Nice interrupt. No, not interrupted by Tigers. And however, Abatha was able to tunnel down to the bot lane and pick up that nuke. Revenant coming in from the side, trying to take down Game Day. It's not enough for the actual kill. He has the vulnerable talent on his level 16, so they were able to get 16 during that fight. And it was only a 2-for-1 trade. That could have gone much worse, seeing as they were fighting at pre-level 16. And right now, we're seeing a big push for the mercenaries. Hunter Seeker not going to hit anything there. The tower is already gone, but here comes the nuke. This time, single target direct damage directly onto the center of that wall. That was unnecessarily violent, but it does go down here. That tower also out of ammo, gets taken out by the minions. Loco, without taking the extra damage to minions on level 1, he instead went with the extra speed. Oh, the Dragons of the hologram. That's not real. Get out of there, Loco. Kerrigan taken. Oh, no, that's not Kerrigan. That is just a replay malfunction there. Sorry, an ops malfunction, not a replay malfunction. So we're seeing Kerrigan still hovering around here, looking for an opportunity to maybe jump in and grab another kill. It's been Kerrigan's job, just get the stun. She took the extra radius on that stun just to make sure that she could try and get as many people as possible, whereas Abatha has started going into his Locust. He now has the Siege Locust and the extra spawning on the Locust with that Locust nest, that brood spawn, so he can get them in here. We're seeing Zagara hovering in the backline. She has that Mutalisk now and Spell Shield, a very wise choice against that Nova. Nova's been hunting her down and ruining her basically all day today. And Shin has taken an upgrade to his siege mode here. I'm not sure if that is the extra range or the hover siege. He's moving completely away from his team though. Duncan gets dragged. Great play by Loco. In comes the BFG there. Lasers down too, doing huge damage to Malo. The nuke is being dropped. Shin's in siege mode. That's not going to be enough. Water gets nuked. He is taken down. Revenant in the background though, trying to get any kind of counter kill, but he's in full retreat. Turns it onto Minerva as he realizes he can't get out. And that is a huge win for the aliens here. Easily able to take that, and they're able to pick up the nuke that was dropped there. But that nuke onto Tychus, it didn't get the single target damage, but just the AoE damage is enough to do huge damage there. It's very useful in team fights. Works a little bit better on sieging, but it definitely gets the job done. So now Loco going to start soloing this mercenary camp. He can do it once again with adaptation. Going to take him a little bit. He didn't take the extra damage to minions and mercenaries, but still getting the job done. He's taken very much health-based stuff with the extra movement speed, and the extra range on that drag is seriously helping him out at this point. And Reyna gone very, very Q-focused. I have not seen this build before. And like I said, I do not have control of the camera, so I can't have a look at it for you guys. So we're going to see that boss still available. Either team could take it. There is also one in the top lane, like we said, which the Zerg, the aliens, could take here. They wanted to maybe rotate up, but Loco's going to want to grab maybe some more adaptation stacks first, and they might need some assistance from Zagara, who has Nidus Worms around the area, but none in the area of that boss. They're all in the area of the lower boss, which would be a bit more vulnerable, as it's a bit easier to spot. So Abatha continuing to put down Locust. Those Siege Locusts going to be putting on some huge pressure right now, while the aliens begin to race towards their level 20, which will put them in a fairly significant lead here, because they'll be able to engage basically anywhere they want. If they get 20 and then guarantee that boss, or push early with it, they're going to get a lot of work done. Abatha repositioning himself up to the top lane, and nuclear items spawning. There's already a Nidus Worm right next to both of them. So if they choose to fight at one, they can then send Zagara down to the other if the enemy team decides to fight them. So they will at least guarantee one capture. Instead, they're hiding around the center of the map, slowly moving forward, looking to try and catch someone. Revenant spots Nacera going into the bush. Zydar staying out of sight. Don't run into the mines. Wartech is revealed, so they know where at least one person is. Question is, can they get it? Duncan dropping the heals for Wartech here. Are they going to scour? Are they going to face check? It's the face check! In comes Tiger's pulled in. He dashes out, trying to escape, but he is gone. Precision Strike of BFG again does huge damage, but it's not enough. Although Dahaka, good burrow there to keep himself alive, but he has no help. Kerrigan down as well. Loco in full retreat. He will be able to escape, but we saw Zagara rotating around from the back there. Not able to get it. She needs to get to a Nidus Worm so she can get out to bot lane, at least guarantee that nuclear item, because the Marines have taken full control of this center area. They have control of that. Zagara needs to try and get bot before the Marines get down there, but she's taken too long. The Marines are now on the way. No, they're not actually. Oh, she already got it. My mistake. It was Tigers who already went down there and got it. Here comes the nuke. That is significantly on the fort to get that bonus damage. Chunks it down from full health to a quarter. If you get that center circle on, it does huge damage. And with level 20 on the aliens now, they might be able to continue keep pushing there. We are seeing the medic being used here. It's by the minion wave. It does heal up the individual minions, so it actually does what the old wizards used to do in the alpha of Heroes of the Storm. It actually heals the minion wave a little bit, and it is visible to see. Shin revealed there. No sneakiness right now. They know exactly where he is, so they can rotate against him, but he's just clearing the waves, so it does not matter as is. While the Zerg begin to take mercenary camps. A very close game. Both teams, it's only 15 kills to 18. Zerg still slightly ahead, but Marines with taking a couple advantages here and there. But remember, Minerva does have that nuclear item prepared to try and take a fight. That top boss, like the Custer Stroke here, still available. Right now, it is just mercenary camps. The name of the game for both teams, but neither team has the guts to take a boss right now. It would be so risky. They do so much damage. You saw what happened in that fight earlier down at the bottom boss. The question is either team willing to take the risk, or can they get enough kills to try and guarantee that? So for now, both teams rotating down to the bot lane. Not sure why. Looks like the Zerg, the aliens, just want to push with their mercenary camp, and so do the Marines. The Marines, though, a little bit more aggressive. They're further forward, while the aliens begin to wade forward. Loco was looking for a drag, does not find it. Not able to grab that kill, whereas Merlot on that Kerrigan copy, sneaking from behind. He finds Hammer, drops the stun, grabs Tigers with it. They're trying to grab Hammer, but Hammer doing huge damage with the stim drone. Doesn't matter if you're Stylus, your Hammer do all the damage, stunned by the real Kerrigan, who's able to jump out again. BFD comes out for extra damage, but it's not enough to kill anything. And that is so far a 0 for 0 with the Zerg in full retreat. But Shin boosts forward super aggressively. He wants that kill, trying to get forward. The stun hits nothing, but they were at least able to get to Haka with that final shot there. And Revenant wants one more, getting his shots off onto game day, but it's not enough for the kill unless they have another global, which they do not. Everything is on cooldown, and they do not have a nuke to try and use that for the snipe maybe. Now Minerva, now he's under his own base, getting some protection, but Abatha has been a cheeky sword. He's got to the top lane and has just dropped his Locust and was able to grab that top keep, so there will now be catapults spawning in that top lane. Abatha now helping defend that bottom keep for the aliens here, and Zagara really needs to go get some help. That can either be via the core or via the Nidus Worm, which he can just jump into and get a health back that way, as it does heal. But the mercenary camp in the top lane still pushing. That's going to push all the way onto core, and we are seeing Dahaka will be back soon. Zydar coming out here, and we're seeing the nuclear item spawning in a pretty good position. Merlot, once again, playing very aggressively. He will grab this, and he can probably get out before Tigers gets there too. Game Day tried to grab bottom one, but Shin and Duncan in position. They are the menace of this team right now, putting on so much pressure. They were able to interrupt Game Day for a little bit. Shin getting pulled in. The stun does not land. The healing from Duncan is good, and Shin stays alive. First aids himself as well. He will keep alive in this, and now we will finally see the Zerg, the aliens, pick up that bottom nuclear item. But like we said, Abatha already got the mid one, the top one. Duncan got one on the left-hand side in the lower lane. So there are a couple nukes around for both teams. Either one can now try and get some good siege damage onto the others, or once again, remember, save it for a team fight. That mid-4, for example, very vulnerable, but it's only at a quarter health. I'm not sure I'd waste a nuke on that. You could, in theory, just go in for an engagement here and just try and push it down. And that looks like what they're attempting to do here. Abatha, though, he has no such quandaries. He's going to drop his nuke onto bot lane. He's trying to be back, though. He's been found by Wartech. He tunnels out, though, with the ultimate evolution. Now coming in to help his team. They get the stun onto the Morales. She is gone, and she was the one carrying the nuclear item, but the Hyperion will zone out Loco here. Merlo on that copy goes down. The nuke's being dropped onto Shin. He boosts away. He won't be hit by him. It's Zydar and Wartech. Only Zydar is hit. Shin coming back in round from the other side, and that was a lot. That was only one kill for each team there, but that nuclear item of Morales is still left on the ground. Someone needs to go over and pick that up. Loco not getting the drag there, so not able to pick up the kill, but they need to remember that nuclear item. It's been pinged by someone. Zydar going to be going back to pick that up, but Morales still gone for another 30 seconds. There's going to be no stim drone and not a huge amount of protection for Hammer, so they can't afford to take that really tough engagement for the moment. But now it's going to be clearing the lane. Shin giving a bit of assistance for that as much as he can. We're going to be seeing them try and kill off that Nidus Worm. Very aggressively placed here. It will get taken down. And wow, the core is currently under attack. Here comes the nuke, trying to cut off the retreat, but Zerg did not intend to retreat. We saw Game Day taking a bit of damage. Revenant on the run here. Good knockback from Zydar. That might just save Revenant here, who is continuing to flee. Shin coming in for a distraction as well. Revenant still in retreat. Merlo on that copy. Grenade misses. He will have another, I think, before he even comes out of it. No, he walks into a mine, and Revenant gets taken down. Merlo with the Abathur chase. Very nice there, forcing the Revenant there to take a bit of an alternate route and get taken down. That mine perfectly placed. Merlo on point with these. And now we're seeing, once again, the aliens taking control of those mercenary camps, taking those lovely Hellions, those Hell Bats. And Loco prepared in the top lane to take down that Raven and those Goliaths. Going to be taking them down quite quickly. Takes a big missile to the face. Does, like we said, a fair amount of damage. Not enough to one-shot an Abathur, as we saw earlier, but it's still quite a lot of damage. And there we go. That is finally finished off. Whereas the Marines have already grabbed their bottom siege camp with the Hell Bats, etc. And are now moving up to their set of Goliaths. See if they can get it. And now nuclear items spawning in the top and the bottom lane. Who will be able to grab each? Right now, there is no focus on the bottom lane at all. But once again, there is a Nidus Worm down there. They could send Abathur, they could send Zagara, and they could send Dahaka. But right now, they're hiding around the boss. These are what the catapults look like on these maps. Very Terran focused. Dahaka starting the boss and then realizing that he has no health, and that might be a really bad idea. But level 20s are available. Rewind for Nova, the extra Hyperion, the extra AoE damage for Rainer, the extra damage on auto attacks for Tychus, extra range and attack speed for Sergeant Hammer, and the Caduceus Reactor, extra shield for Morales. They're going in. Stun lands on Hammer. If they can take her out to start a fight, that'd be beautiful. And they do. With Hammer and Raider already gone, this is a disaster. Now they've just stim droned Tychus, who's trying to get the damage off the Sarah. Getting deleted by Tychus now, but he is outnumbered. Revenant can't afford any kind of assistance here. So Wartech in full retreat here. Nova drops the slow, so Revenant helping Wartech escape here, which looks like they might do. Abathur grab the nuclear item in the bot lane. He's just going to go up and split push again. Wartech still getting chased. Game Day coming in from behind, looking for the kill. He gets it, but Revenant is already out. But that is still 4 kills to 1 in favor of the aliens here. And that core has taken some damage from catapults there. And that tower being taken down by Ravens. It does outrange the core hit, the tower here. And that goes down. Nuclear launch being used on that mid lane. Everything is deleted, so now those minions are going to be putting pressure onto that keep. And Abathur continuing to keep the pressure on that bot lane with Locust keeping everything going. And now we're seeing an attempt on that boss. It does a lot of damage. Let's see if they can do it here. Tychus appears to have died here. That seems like it. Oh no, he was just the last one to die last time. Look at how low they're getting those banelings, and they don't dodge them well enough. They do get taken down. Loco having to pull back. He doesn't have any adaptation. He's going to use the nuke on it to attempt to help take it down. Now it's just Game Day poking from the side, using the roaches to tank. Can they finish it off? Here comes the boss, and they do finish it, but they drop so low. You can see how much damage that does without insane micro to try and dodge out those banelings. So now that's going to be a boss pushing the top lane of the Marines, which has no keep in it. In fact, none of the lanes have keeps in them. Those Locusts super hard push that bottom lane. They were able to take down the keep, and this is what the boss looks like. It is evil. It's going to be pushing in here with a catapult as well. And here come the aliens as well, finishing the Merc camp just below. So they're going to have the Goliaths and the Raven too. This is going to be a death push. They want to try and end. They have everyone alive, but the Marines do as well. They're just going to put a huge amount of focus onto that boss to try and stop it from ending the game here. In comes Kerrigan, finishing off that Draken laser drill, which was preventing the minions from pushing up because they have a huge lane pushing. Precision strike used, hits the clone. BFG also used. Not enough here. In comes the missile from the Raven here, but it's not enough. That is going to be GG. Nasera falls down, but we're going to see the aliens taking the game. They will move on to play the winner of the Wizards versus the Knights here. Insane play by them, and that final fight where they were able to just pick off Hammer and Raynor at the start, beautiful. Just able to take the great kills there and the huge advantage, and then the boss, mercenary camps and catapults, so difficult to stop. Very nicely done. So for now, we're going to jump over to the stage with the German hosts, where we're going to have an interview with the winning team, who look ecstatic now.
Guter Verlierer und muss meinem Team auch gratulieren. Die Marines haben sich super gewehrt, bis in die hohen 20er Levels. Guys, you did really well until the high 20 levels. Come to the stage.
Give it up for both teams.
Großer Applaus.
Round of applause for both teams. And as said, for viewers at home that just tuned in, don't worry. We'll be switching between German and English. You just heard an English cast, and you probably wondered why a girl over there is speaking German. And yes, we try to keep the balance and try to, well, take everyone with us on this beautiful day. Well, Duncan.
Oh, well.
Tough luck.
Bad luck. Next time, though.
Next time.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh,
we'll come back.
You'll have a revanche.
Yeah, revenge tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll kick their ass.
So, you know where your mistakes were? You know how to fix them?
Yeah, we've got some ideas. We got caught out a couple of times by a big bait, so we know they'll be trying to do that again tomorrow. So yeah, come back tomorrow, and we'll be the victors.
How did you like the map?
It's a great map. I love the StarCraft theme. The nuke's really fun. It kind of fits our Marine theme as well really well, so that's good.
So it was one of the two new maps we have here, und welche ihr übrigens auch hier an unserem Heroes Boost spielen könnt. Ihr braucht noch gar nicht weggehen, wir haben nämlich noch eine Partie. Duncan, thank you very much. And of course, a big GG to the Marines. And we may kindly ask all of our players to leave because we have a second matchup waiting. Duncan, thank you. Take your team with you. Go backstage. These guys will be in our signing booth for you guys to take selfies with and to sign stuff over there. Yes, please. We still have
okay,
a
alle
second
Spieler
matchup
verlassen
waiting.
die Bühne bitte. Wir kommen zum nächsten Halbfinale sozusagen, zum nächsten Showmatch. Please leave the stage. The next players will be coming. Ja, und das Team Aliens werden wir offensichtlich gleich nochmal wiedersehen im Finale. Da werden sie keine Aliens mehr spielen, soweit ich weiß. Ja, und das nächste Halbfinale ist natürlich auch wieder was Thematisches. Da haben wir uns was sehr, sehr Feines ausgedacht, Melli, für diese Show.
Ich denke ja, denn wir sind hier bei Heroes of the Storm Brawlmania, wie ihr schon mitbekommen habt. Und es wird gegen die Wizards.
Gegen die Knights.
So Leute, ihr seid auf jeden Fall gut vorbereitet. Wahrscheinlich denken sich die gerade vorbeilaufen, denken so, was zur Hölle passiert da oben? Warum sehen diese Menschen so seltsam aus? Erstens, das sind unsere Gesichter, da können wir halt leider nicht viel für. Ne? Natürlich machen wir auch gerade Unsinn, aber ja, wir sind hier bei Heroes of the Storm Brawlmania. Wir haben 4 Teams, die gegeneinander antreten in so einem Mini-Best-of-One Tournament.
Ja, so Halbfinale und Finale kann man das nennen.
Kann man so
also
nennen,
2
genau.
Halbfinale und dann am Schluss nochmal ein Finale, dessen Thematik nicht verraten wird. Ne?
Richtig, genau richtig. Aber die erste Runde war zwischen den Aliens und den Marines, wie ihr vielleicht an den Hero Picks gesehen habt, für alle, die mitten im Spiel dazugestoßen sind. Wir haben natürlich jetzt das zweite Halbfinale, wie du das so treffend bezeichnet hast.
Genau. Und das ist, wie wir gerade schon gezeigt haben, Wizards gegen Knights. Ich behalte meine Kopfbedeckung auf, weil ich finde, dass die mir ganz hervorragend steht.
Ich würde die auch echt gern tragen, aber die fällt die ganze Zeit.
Die fällt runter, ja, bei dir. Das ist mit der Frisur schlecht, ja. Ich mache mal kurz einen Recap für unsere Streaming-Gäste an den Endgeräten. We had the first half-final, Aliens versus Marines, and the Aliens won. You saw that. Our next semi-final will be Wizards against Knights. And the winner of both, or the winner of the next match, will in an end game play against the aliens in a show match that is not yet announced. We will tell you what to expect.
And we're playing on a new map again. So we have 2 new maps with us for all the English-speaking audience here on site. You can go try them in our Heroes booth. Für alle, die hier vielleicht, denen es aufgefallen ist, dass wir die erste Map ja eigentlich noch gar nicht so wirklich im Map-Pool haben. So, das stimmt. Die ist neu. Die heißt nämlich auch Warheads Junction. Und die könnt ihr hier auf der Gamescom 2016 antesten. Und natürlich kann man dazu sagen, dass all unsere Spieler diese neuen Maps in diesem Brawlmania-Format noch gar nicht gespielt haben.
Ja, ich glaube, sie haben so ein bisschen zumindest die Setups getestet. Es hat jeder Spieler quasi einen festen Charakter zugeordnet bekommen, den Muster spielen. Sie konnten nicht auf den Maps testen, aber sie konnten immerhin dieses Setup mal sehen. Und man hat, glaube ich, schon gesehen, dass da einige sehr coole Kombos dabei waren, wie die sich gegenseitig da zerschnetzelt haben.
Ja, ich habe ja eben schon gesagt, es kann ja sein, dass wir das natürlich, vielleicht ist es auch für die E-Sports-Meter was, ne? Man weiß ja nie. Apropos E-Sports, in Halle 9 gibt es ein riesengroßes Heroes of the Storm Turnier drüben bei der ESL. Und das könnt ihr natürlich gleich, nachdem wir hier fertig sind, alle gucken gehen. Bleibt erstmal noch ein bisschen bei uns, weil ich glaube, die zweite Partie hat so ein paar lustige Gesichter in den Teams und das wird auf jeden Fall ganz lustig, denke ich.
Hat einen großen Spaß gemacht und jetzt sollten wir vielleicht mal unsere Teams auf die Bühne holen.
Weiß ich nicht.
Nein, sollten wir doch nicht.
Genau, deswegen.
Meine Güte, du bist einfach immer klüger als ich. Ja, auch
an der Natur der Dinge.
Natürlich. Auch mit den Teams, die jetzt gleich noch kommen, wird das Gleiche passieren wie mit den Teams bisher. Sie werden da hinten sitzen, in dieser Booth, die ihr da hinten seht, nach der Show und werden euch Autogramme geben können. Sind alles bekannte Shoutcaster, sind alles bekannte YouTuber, streamen on Twitch. Ihr kennt sie alle, wenn ihr Heroes of the Storm Fans seid, aus dem Netz und habt da mit ihnen Kontakt gehabt.
Guck mal, Zauberhut. Naja.
Und ich muss sie wieder aufheben,
natürlich
war klar.
Musst du das, weil ich wollte euch noch schnell verraten, dass wir WLAN für euch alle haben. Ist doch nett, oder? Ne? So ein bisschen Datenvolumen gesaved. So, für alle, die Interesse daran haben, ihr könnt euch sehr gerne in dem Blizzard at Gamescom WLAN einwählen mit dem Passwort, welches ja kein wirkliches Passwort mehr ist, wenn ich das hier auf der Bühne rumschreie, aber auf jeden Fall mit dem Passwort Gamescom und ihr seid herzlich dazu eingeladen, unser WLAN zu benutzen. Das stellen wir euch gerne zur Verfügung, damit ihr auch ganz schön viele Bilder, zum Beispiel von dieser fürchterlich langen Zeit, wie wir hier füllen, machen könnt und mit dem Hashtag Gamescom 2016 posten, weil, oh, hier oben seht ihr es übrigens, ich liebe unsere Regie, sie ist so schnell, und hier rechts auf der Seite seht ihr natürlich auch die von euch geposteten Bilder. Wer weiß, vielleicht ist ein Selfie von euch dabei. Oh, übrigens, Selfie. Hier, Freezecam.
Da hinten ist eine super Freezecam, wenn ihr sie noch nicht gesehen habt. Da könnt ihr euch mit den aufregendsten Waffen aus der Blizzard-Welt ausrüsten, euch in die Mitte dieser Kamera stellen und ihr werdet einmal 360 Grad aufgenommen in so einem Mini-Video, während ihr hochspringt, einen Hammer hinter euch schwingt oder mit Tracer-Pistolen auf virtuelle Gegner zielt. Macht großen Spaß. Haben wir auch schon ausprobiert.
Haben wir auch schon ausprobiert. Ja. Könnt ihr auch
Gestern.
natürlich, wenn ihr nach dem Hashtag Gamescom 2016 sucht, taucht das bestimmt auf. Also wir freuen uns auf Tweets von euch, wir freuen uns auf Posts und wie gesagt, das WLAN dafür habt ihr ja jetzt. Und ja, davon abgesehen gibt es hier so noch so 538 Game Stations, an denen man sich mal setzen kann. Und entweder eine Runde an einem PC spielen oder an der Konsole, je nachdem Diablo 1, 2, 3, World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, Overwatch, Heroes und StarCraft.
Ja, gut, es sieht so aus, als wäre das nächste Halbfinale soweit zu beginnen. Wir dürfen
rufen?
Ja.
So, wir fragen jetzt noch, ich weiß, es ist lang und wir müssen alle leider aufstehen. Es ist ein anstrengender Messetag. Allein aus Sicherheitsgründen. Es tut mir wirklich leid. Der in der Mitte guckt schon wahnsinnig enttäuscht. Ich weiß, es tut mir unglaublich leid. Ich würde auch viel lieber sitzen. Aber bitte tut mir den Gefallen. Ich möchte nicht, dass euch was passiert. Deswegen steht auf, kommt ein bisschen näher dran. Denn wer von euch hat Bock auf Heroes of the Storm Brawlmania?
Und wer hat Bock auf die Knights?
Und wer ist hier für die Wizards? Es ist schon wieder gleich auf. Aber
Nee,
einer
das
hat
waren Team
geboot.
Knights.
Man boot nicht.
Doch,
Nein?
für die Wizard boot man auch.
So, Jungs und Mädels, es ist Zeit. Bitten wir die Teams hier auf die Bühne.
Was haben wir dann? Eins.
Welches nehmen wir denn?
Ja, deins, du musst noch da.
Wizards, kommt zu mir!
Riesenapplaus für die
Und einen
Wizards!
großen Applaus von euch natürlich. Hallöchen, Hallöchen. Komm doch so ein bisschen mehr zu mir. So. Ich sehe schon, du hast eine eigene Kamera mit. Ist immer eine gute Idee. Ist immer eine gute Idee. Kameras kann man nicht genug haben. Steve von Space Frogs.
Hi.
Hallo.
Ist das überhaupt an?
Das ist an. Ich halte es dir auch
Darf
fest.
ich es selber halten?
Nein, darfst du nicht.
Oh, danke. Oh.
Moderatorenregel Nummer 1. Gebt niemals euer Mikrofon weg.
Okay.
Hast du in der
niemals
Schule
der
nicht
Melli das
aufgepasst?
Mikrofon.
Nee, das
Nein, in der
geht
Schule lernt man sowas nicht, leider.
nicht. Ja, die wichtigen Dinge im Leben.
Ja, genau,
ne?
oder?
Ja, genau.
Mathe,
so.
Deutsch, aber
Mikrofon nicht festhalten, oder was? Naja, gut, Steve, du hast ein ziemlich cooles Team mitgebracht.
ja.
Ja,
Ja,
kann man
ich habe
so sagen.
meinen Kollegen, ja, Rick, der ist nicht gut. Aber dafür haben wir Ward, wir haben Daniel, wir haben Joyce und die sind auf jeden Fall gut, die müssen uns carryen heute.
Okay, ihr als Wizards, ihr habt euch wirklich schon gut vorbereitet.
Ja, wir hatten ein gutes Trainingsmatch.
Ja, die Heroes. Das ist doch die beste Voraussetzung. Was ihr wahrscheinlich verloren habt, habe ich recht?
Ah, nein.
Aber
das ist
wenn die
nicht gut.
Generalprobe schlecht läuft, dann wird das Finale umso besser.
Genau, dankeschön.
Nach dem Prinzip verfahren wir nämlich auch. So Leute, ich danke euch erstmal. Du darfst direkt zu deinen Jungs und Mädels. Jetzt kommen die jetzt hier gleich mal wieder
Jetzt kommen die
überfahren
hier
werden.
gleich gewinnen werden. Und das sind von der anderen Seite die Knights. Kommt auf die Bühne. Oh, die haben Angst. Die haben Angst. Riesenapplaus.
Die sollten auch Angst haben.
Pete Schmid.
Hi.
Ja, okay. Kann ich Deutsch mit dir reden?
Ja, wenn du möchtest.
Ja, wunderbar. Das ist nicht immer selbstverständlich, deswegen frage ich mal lieber nach. Ja, wunderbar. Das Night-Team, sag mir einmal nur kurz, damit alles wissen, warum werdet ihr die Wizards gleich in den Boden stoßen?
Weil wir ganken.
Weil ihr gankt? Ja, das ist sehr klug.
Ja.
Das heißt, ihr
Das ist,
kommt hier
unsere,
von
das, ist
hinten
unsere,
ran.
das ist unsere Taktik, die haben wir auch im Training benutzt. Ganken.
Hat funktioniert?
Ja.
Okay, wir werden sehen. Wir übergeben wieder an die Shoutcaster. Loggt euch ein. Und dann würde ich sagen, zweites Halbfinale.
Wizards gegen Knights.
Ich bin diesmal für das Team.
Ich wollte das zusammen
Ah, ist
mit
gemein.
dir sagen.
Also die sehen wirklich
Dann
sehr
immer irgendwie
episch aus, muss man
erst mal
sagen.
stundenlang
Bei
labern
den
lassen
beiden
und dann
Teams
innerhalb
tatsächlich
von
kann
2
ich ein bisschen
Minuten.
Gib schnell weg,
erzählen.
gib
Ich habe
schnell weg,
mir
gib schnell
ein
weg.
bisschen zugeguckt.
Okay.
Es war wirklich
Ach, die haben wirklich trainiert, ja?
sehr amüsant einerseits natürlich. Also ich meine, du kennst die Charaktere, es geht immer ordentlich ab. Aber sie haben sich auch richtig Mühe gegeben, haben sich versucht, Strategien zu überlegen. Fischkopf zum Beispiel hat bei mir auf dem Stream vorbeigeguckt und gefragt, ey, hast du noch ein paar Tipps? Was kann ich machen? Und ich glaube, beim Training hatte ich den Eindruck,
Ladies and gentlemen, I am back to Brawlmania. And there seemed to be a little bit of confusion I saw as to why there is an English cast here. This is the English stream, but Gamescom is a German event. This is why all the commentary on stage, etc., is in German. And there is a live German cast which is going out to the audience here at the venue, as the event is taking place here in Cologne. But I am here to bring the international audience all the action from this in my little booth behind the stage. If any of you have ever seen GSL, I am in one of those booths, the little soundproof booths they have. I now know what it is like to be Korean without the mouse, the keyboard, or the skill, or the actually being Korean part. So for now, it is going to be the Knights versus the Wizards. And range is going to be a significant issue for one of these teams, and I am very concerned for them. However, there is a full support on the side of the Knights. They do have the Uther playing for them, which is going to be being played by Moondai, which is going to be pretty interesting. That might help them out a little bit. A good Divine Shield, or maybe Divine Storm, if they want to go super aggro, could make or break this. Whereas the Wizards, very much going to be relying on Medivh to try and help them out here. We'll keep an eye on him. If he can drop a good ability, the Knights can drop a burst build. If they want to go for a full hard engage build, they can absolutely use, they'll absolutely need Medivh, the Wizards that is, to try and protect themselves from that kind of hard engage. But yeah, it's going to be very exciting. And we have some super cool heroes in this game in general. And right now, the fact that we have a Tyrael in this game especially is just going to make it super cool, because if that Tyrael can drop a good Sank or even a Judgment, then that is some insane burst damage that they can try and drop onto one person. The amount of protection that the Wizards have before the late game is going to be Medivh, and that is about it. Followed by a tiny bit of teleport from Li Ming, a stun from Kael'thas, and the slow from Jaina. And, well, you could say Chromie Stasis, but that's a little bit unreliable in general. So for now, we're loaded into the game, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Braxis Hold. This is where they will be defending themselves against the Zerg. There are 2 towers based in just above the bottom lane and just below the top lane. And when you have captured those, you stand on them just like a watchtower. You will be able to fill up your tanks with Zerg. The tanks swap sides every couple rounds or even every single time. So you will never be able to defend the same lanes in the exact same way. We're seeing Joyce just using that Medivh as good vision here for now. Keeping an eye on it, but Kael'thas getting stunned up, gets Medivh though, but that Jaina Blizzard getting some good hits onto Dodos here. So needs to be very careful. They're going very aggressive, very deep. They want Kael'thas, and they get the kill. First blood going over to the Knights, and this is how they need to win the game. Push until they die. Never give up, never surrender. So for those who are wondering, this is a 2-lane map. Blizzard being dropped in a good position here. There are mercenary camps which spawn a little bit later. For now, wow, we're just seeing Li Ming just having a huge amount of freedom here. Finally, we're seeing Piet Smeert, which I'm positive I'm pronouncing wrong, coming down to the bot lane to try and contest this. But we also have globe spawners, which up until now have only really been seen on the little ARAM map that Blizzard made for us. So it's cool to see them in an actual full map. And yes, those globes do count towards stacking talents like Regen Master. But they do have a very long spawn time, and they do go to your entire team when you pick them up. So it's good to coordinate with your team if you have multiple people with the stack talent to try and make a play onto the globe spawner. Try and pick that up. Ward being pushed back very aggressively here. He has very little health and is currently 3 versus 1. So he is in a bit of a tough position, so he's going to play quite a bit further back. Having a look at some of the talents we see. Space Frog's Rick playing with the extra health regen and the ability power on his infusion here. So he's going to be able to get a little bit of help back, a little bit of sustain. But in comes the Knights again. Doesn't matter if you have sustain, if you're dead. In comes the Medivh protection though. Needs to use the portal. Not using the portal. In comes Muradin for the dive. But we're seeing Tyrael go down. And actually Kael'thas gets out. But Jaina might die to save no to protection again, but Kael'thas comes back in to try and save Daniel there and ends up dying anyway. So it's still 2 kills to 1 here. Tyrael did go down like we said, but was not able to pick up Daniel as well. So now we see these objectives have spawned. We're seeing the timers will be filled up. As we can see, Li Ming has already grabbed one for the red team, and it looks like the timer once again on the ops interface is bugged. So we're not going to be able to see that. We're just going to have to guess where they are. We see the casters here trying to find the pool, and there we go. You can see it is now open, so we will start to see Zerg begin to creep their way in here, whereas blue team control the bottom one. But we are going to see the Wizards try and contest that, but they lose Daniel for their trouble. Dalucard diving super deep here, trying to get the kill. Chromie gets a good hit, but Joystick might get out. No, interrupted by the Muradin here. Kael'thas jukes with the portals. He's in full retreat. Can Dalucard get the stun to get the finish? No. Space. Oh, hang on. In comes Fishcop. He wants to kill. He gets it with the smite at the cost of his own life. The greed is real, but he got the kill. He picks up a minion and a bit of tower damage for his trouble. And the Wizards, the Knights, though, able to keep control of that bottom area. And they've also managed to grab control of top area. So now they're going to be gaining their Zerg even quicker. The stacks are being away. Now we're getting stacks. Now it's building up 16%. It just seems to jump a little bit every now and again. And red team, the Wizards have retaken control of that bottom point now, which is the signal generator. Here's Smeared in full retreat. Daniel and Joystick trying to grab him, but not enough damage here. Space Rock Steve also in the area, not going to be enough here. But yeah, once one of these teams reaches 100%, they will be able to call in the Zerg rush. Daniel in some trouble here. Medivh needs to get in there to drop the protection, save him, drops him himself, but doesn't matter. Daniel was out. Good body blocking by the Wizards team here for the Knights. Able to play very aggressively. The smaller map really playing towards their style here. The Wizards maybe need to make a bit more use of just their poke potential and just abuse that and play a bit further back and just fire abilities in like this. This is pretty ideal. You can see this is how many Zerg blue team have gathered. All of these will be released eventually, which looks like now blue team have gathered the 100%. So they will be getting those Zergs to push that bottom lane, whereas red teams will push top lane. You can see the difference between the amount of Zerg, 34,000 to 2,200. So here is the blue team Zerg force, some double ultras. We've got some hydras in there, and that's going to be super tough. However, the Wizards do have an immense amount of wave clear, and we're seeing that used now, trying to take down the ultralisks first. Whereas the Knights have also sent a bit of protection, but they've already cleared up the Zerg that they have in the top lane. The Ultralists have been taken down. They were a tankier force. The Hydra is getting wiped out. Now it is basically one Hydra in the air units. So the Wizards doing a really good job of clearing that up. They will finally finish off this force in the bottom lane. And as such, they don't take a huge amount of damage. They're able to protect that pretty nicely. Daniel having to get the protection dropped onto him. Nice juke on the spear there. Is now in retreat. Needs enough protection, but Medivh doesn't get it. Joystick now in retreat. She will get away with this. Medivh trying to keep his team alive, but was not able to protect Jaina that time. But level 7 talents have been reached by the Knights, who have been very, very efficient in this game so far. We're seeing another Stormbolt talent, the Pierce, being taken by Muradin, but he didn't take the Sledgehammer at level 4. Sad times. Whereas Tyrael going with a very Q-focused build. Some very random off-the-wall builds here for both teams. Very Dragon Breath focused for Chromie here, but without taking the level 1. And we see Kael'thas taking in that extra range on his Gravity Lapse, the Nether Wind, so he can get the extra range and the cooldown reduction, mana reduction, if he's able to hit the target. So we're seeing Fishcop right now alone in the top lane. That Globe Spawner is available for if everyone wants it. They don't need it, but we're going to see Jaina grab it anyway. So 1, prevent it from being taken, and 2, to give herself a little bit of mana. She does not have Conjurers, though. In this case, in comes Muradin and Sonya, easily enough to take down Daniel. Like we said, without that protection that they get in the late game, they're going to be seriously struggling all the way up until now. And we're seeing, once again, the Knights putting pressure on in the bot lane as well. Despite having a numbers disadvantage, they still seem to have the majority of control there. Moondai, though, and Dalucard and Fishcop just keeping the pressure on in this top lane. Once again, Ward has been left alone here. He needs to start getting those resets. Right now, just doing the extra damage. Took the Mark talent, I believe that is. The one that marks heroes on level 4. Don't think I've seen that talent before. Like, ever. In terms of, like, a professional game. Like, no one plays it. It's the one that marks you for bonus auto-attack damage. And I don't even know what it's called because I haven't seen it before. We're seeing Space Frog Rick getting rooted by Smeart here. But we'll get away. Steve is with him for the protection. Moondai looking for a potential flank here, but it's not going to be enough here. And Daddleshit, with a great choice of talents here, going for the extra range. Runs into the stasis though, but he's gone for the extra range on his W and is using that as the focus because he knows his team's going to be fairly grouped up thanks to their style. There you go, just getting the multiple heal. Fishcop gets out here. Chromie apparently getting annihilated here. The Knights, once again, just able to dive super deep. Are able to get all the control they need. Medivh, with, I believe that's the Master's Touch on level 7. But they're able to take some good control here. Li Ming also taking down the Knights, being so dominant in this matchup, just taking great control here. Those Wizards are 100% going to need their level 10 to try and get that huge wombo combo with a huge amount of damage. Daniel out of position again. He's trying to retreat to his own base. Sonya pushing forward. Dalucard jumps in, drops the stun, and down goes Jaina again. 11 kills to 2 right now. We see Haymaker coming in from Muradin, leap from the Sonya, Syndragosa from Arthas, the Sanctification from Tyrael, finally a bit of protection. And Uther, is he going with Storm or is he going with Divine Shield? We will find out soon. You can see the Zerg filling up for the blue team as they currently control both the points. 94 currently to 0. There's the 100. And the Zerg are released, and that is nothing, basically, for the red team. They get a bit just in terms of forgiveness, basically, and it is Divine Storm for Uther. This is going to be fun. They're going full CC. They want to try and just win by a huge burst here. The Turbocasters have just noticed it as well. Now, blue team, they're pushing their bot lane here, but their Zerg is in the top lane, so they know the Zerg will get the pushing done on its own, so they're just going to go with their mercenary camps and push as well. Chromie taking the slow on level 9. She gets a heroic at level 9 thanks to her trait, but that slow going to be preventing those air units at least from pushing in with the rest of the units as quickly, so her team can just get the extra damage off. However, the Knights have pushed in this bottom lane, and they have crushed that fort. And the Zerg that was in this lane didn't even stand a chance. The top lane Zerg for the blue team, though, have finally been cleared up, though. So now it is just down to the regular stuff. We see the infested Vikings here getting focused down. The Raven coming in. Sorry, once again, those are not the Vikings. We're seeing Sonya going super deep, takes a bit of damage. Good knock-up from Kael'thas. There's the leap. There's the Divine Storm. Leap for freedom. Divine Storm for delay. And Dalucard gets to the slow off as well. Joystick coming in, though. Li Ming dropping some good damage thanks to that Seeker. They're so close to level 10. If they can get a kill here, it's good. But Fishcop will have stank if they need it. There's slow being dropped by Chromie. Dalucard very far forward. Not spreading the Living Bomb. Actually, he might. He does. He dies as well. It spreads the Living Bomb. bomb to Fishcop, who doesn't spread it again, but Spear also takes a Dragon Breath for his trouble. And level 20 has been hit. It's the Polybomb for Medivh, which is good, considering they all want to be grouping together on the side of the Knights. However, it could be countered by the Sank. Ring of Frost on the Jada, and Kael'thas has gone for the Phoenix. Ward is out of there. He has so little health right now, and that Raven, like we said, it does a good chunk of damage in the mercenary camp. So the Wizard God are actually pushing top lane fairly uncontested right now because the Knights are busy taking the mercenaries off to the left of your screen. And this is the boss. It is a giant infested Viking. Looks super, super cool. And I have yet to see it be taken, actually. In the games I have played on this map, never really got the chance. Was always very focused on the objectives and not dying. But it is super, super cool. Look at that thing. Looks amazing. So right now, Divine Storm, 8 seconds off cooldown. It will be back quite soon. But whereas Sindragosa still got another 40 seconds to go. But Medivh getting some visions. We saw Li Ming get stunned there, but she was able to teleport away using Disintegrate. But not getting all of the damage off on it. Instead, going back to poking. Joystick still alive and is beginning to turn on the damage. Get the protection onto Rick here, where he was chasing forward. They don't get the Arcade Orb, though. Here comes the leap and the Muradin. Perfect gank there from the Knights. Kael'thas is deleted. They get Medivh as well, thanks to Dosh. And they're able to grab it. Li Ming actually teleporting away from the missile there. I was not aware that was possible. But that's good to know. And now with the objectives up again, we will see the Knights make a play. They already have top. Now they're making a play onto bot. They found Chromie. Chromie is now not a thing. She is deleted from the map. And the Wizards, once again, on the back foot. The Knights just hitting their level 13s, putting themselves even further ahead with that talent lead. Daniel, still no protection. Daniel, I'm sorry. He gets... Oh, that might save him. The Haymaker. Nope, never mind. Down she goes. They're annihilated from over the wall there. The chase potential is great from the Knights here. Wow, this is very one-sided at the moment. The Wizards need to get that wombo combo. They need that one play in order to try and get an advantage here. And Kael'thas pushing forward, getting some good damage off, but needs to pull back. This is the new build Kael'thas, remember, so it doesn't do as much damage as it did before. Here come the Zerg. Once again, blue, heavy advantage here. And it's going to be pushing the bot lane when it's already a mercenary camp. And in the meantime, the Knights have started the boss. They're very low, though. Need to be careful, taking many, many bullets. Oh, God, if they wipe on this, would be hilarious. But in comes Uther for the heal. That will be enough. And, oh, my God, no, they take down Muradin at least. But now they have the Viking on their side, and it's not even infested anymore. It is now regular Terran. It will help them. They've cleansed it of its infestation. Now we're seeing the Ultralisk finally getting cleared up, and the minions delaying the rest of the Zerg swarm. The little bit that's left, once again, just the air units to the left. But Kael'thas taken down once again with the help of the Viking boss here, which is now beginning to push forward, annihilating the minion wave. It does focus minions first, this boss, so you do have to guide it a little bit more, and that's exactly what they're doing, wiping out that top fort, bringing it just down to keeps for the red team, for our Wizards here, whereas the Knights, they have everything. They still have all of their forts up. They've only lost a couple towers. Medivh getting some good vision. The laser Disintegrate being used in advance here, trying to get any kind of protection. There's the damage. Look at that damage onto Daniel. And we have a quick pause here. Daniel having a little bit of issues here, unfortunately. So right now, we just saw the amount of damage that that boss can do if you stand still. You do have to get out of that damage area, or you are going to hit some serious trouble. Looks like we are back and gone again. But yeah, we have a bit of technical issues, and then we'll be back into the game as soon as possible. But yeah, right now, Heroics, Disintegrate is down, but you can still win the fight without that. You can still fight that with some good Arcane Orbs and some good Seeker hits, especially if level 13 is hit for the Wizards, which it will quite soon. So if they can get the Wombo and the Sanctification is not dropped, then it is good. And it looks like Daniel still doesn't have his mouse potentially, which is not ideal. We'll get that fixed as soon as possible. In the meantime, though, we are seeing that Chromie Slow is almost off cooldown, 1 second away. So they're going to be on the defensive here. And it looks like we are back, everyone, and we see Jaina just running straight to that fountain, getting all of her health back. But the root from Tigers hits everything, though. Ring of Frost catches 3 people, though. Can they follow up on it? No, they weren't able to get in. Sindragosa dropped in exchange, not hitting the fort, though, the keep, though, so it won't stop that from attacking. It does disable buildings, remember. Here's Smith in full retreat. The slow from Chromie also cutting off the retreat, making them take the long way around and forcing them out of there. So the Wizards will hold here at the cost of no lives. Good defense by them. That's Sindragosa not getting the value it really could have there. But The bot lane has still been pushed a little bit by Dalucard. Some minions will make it towards the keep. Not enough for a kill, but will do a little bit of damage. They do also still have those Hellbats, so they will get a little bit of extra damage as well. In the meantime, we will, of course, see our Knights here taking down the Mercenary camp from the opponent's side of the map because they have full map control. They have no globe talents, so it's not going to be a huge difference to steal the globes from the map. The only thing it's going to really deny is Li Ming, who did take the Power Hungry, which gives you the extra ability power and the extra mana back when you pick up a globe. Rick gets protected. There's the Polybomb, not getting anything. In comes Sonya, deleted. The Knights just take out everything here and are now pushing in towards the keep, towards that planetary fortress. They're going to try and get it. Pierce Smith takes a huge chunk of damage, though. They need to be careful. They're really going to have trouble sieging against this. Instead, it might be better just to guarantee the objectives, which it looks like what they're going to do. They're going to head back and grab both of those signal beacons so that they have full control here. And wow, the Knights just dominating this matchup once again. Ward using his teleport to escape that missile. Very, very nicely done there. So they are in great control. Ward does take a bit of chunk of damage there, unfortunately, and we're seeing now the Knights finally starting on that bottom beacon as well. So they're going to hit that 100% so much before the Wizards even get near by the looks of it. We'll see the charges building up so quickly. And now the Wizards beginning to make their way out of the base, especially Joystick, who can move around and just get all the scouting that she needs to here. See if she can find anything available. She's not scouting out too much, especially not this huge gank that could catch Ward here. But Ward taking a very long way around to get back to his team. Whereas Jaina and Medivh have sort of gone off on their own here. Ring of Frost catches Terrio protection. Used there, but Daniel is found by Sonya. Needs to get away. Needs to get back to Medivh. There's no tower there. There's no fort, Jaina. Where are you running to? Joyce drops the protection, but it doesn't matter. The engage is too good here. The Knights just annihilating the Wizards here. They are in full retreat, and Steve gets knocked out. He can't even use bye-bye. He's trying again, and he gets out this time. So Space Frog Steve, the only one alive here. He needs to protect his team with some burst here, but the Zerg has been unleashed in the top lane. The AoE is seriously helping here, but those Ultralisks are very tanky, and they do a lot of damage. The keep is down, so catapults into Slave. Steve gets stunned. Muradin gonna solo him by the looks of it. The stasis doesn't hit. Steve on the run, trying to get out. He can't be back here. There's too many people. He gets taken down, and the Zerg rush is gonna push in the top lane. The hero is gonna push in the bot lane, and that is going to be GG. And it's gonna be our Knights who will move on to play against the Marines. Syndragosa comes in for the slow, but that is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Well played to our Knights team. Nicely done. There's the small pilot of the fort there, and somehow, despite being machined, it is still full of gold, because everyone loves gold. And the Knights take the victory. They will move on to the finals, which will be coming up next to play against our team of the Aliens. Sorry, I said the Marines earlier, but the Aliens did win off the match. So now we're going to send it back over to the hosts, who are going to interview some of the players.
Wie vorher gesagt, haben gewonnen. Dieses Spiel
Ganz
war
aus
mir von
Versehen.
vornherein eigentlich ziemlich klar.
So wie es beim ersten Spiel auch
Zumindest
war.
beim ersten Spiel. Wir haben jetzt zwei so geile Matches gesehen, in denen sich so viele Leute so gut gekloppt haben, dass uns
Vor allen
die
Dingen
Zeit
so lange.
und so lange, besonders das erste, dass uns die Zeit weggelaufen ist. Wir können kein Finale mehr spielen. Das Finale wird morgen gespielt.
Ja.
Gleiche Zeit, wieder
Ja.
14:30 Uhr hier. Und ich muss beide Teams und die Shoutcaster von der Bühne bitten.
Aber erstmal natürlich nochmal einen
Ein
großen
Riesenapplaus.
Applaus für die Kontrahenten, die Wizards und die Knights. Ja, die Aliens haben ja eben gewonnen. Man kann nicht immer Glück haben. Also momentan steht es auch zwischen uns 1-1. Deswegen, thank you guys.
Okay, we
so
can
wir
have the team
sehen-
captain of the Knights at least.
Genau, der war
man-
doch der
Genau.
Pizmeet, oder?
Pete Mead, komm zu uns noch.
Wenn du
Komm
Bock
zu uns.
hast, kannst du noch
das
mal
Team
kurz
von der
nach
Bühne
vorne
bitte.
kommen.
Verlass dir die Bühne.
Kannst du die vielleicht auch ein bisschen dezenter runtertreten?
Zack, zack. Komm, nee, komm zu uns. Pete, komm zu uns noch.
Das ist vollkommen irrelevant.
Oh,
Nackenschellen.
jawohl, da werden sie nochmal gefeiert. Und alle unsere YouTuber werden da hinten gleich zur Autogrammstunde stehen, zur Signing-Session. Und ihr kriegt alle ein Autogramm von denen. Könnt ihr auch morgen um die gleiche Zeit noch bekommen, könnt ihr auch noch am Samstag bekommen. Ja, ihr habt gewonnen. Das sah so einfach aus. War das nur Training oder, wenn man ehrlich ist, hattet ihr auch das bessere Team? Haben ja die Shoutcaster vorher so ein bisschen gesagt, oder?
Also erstmal Taktik Genken ist voll aufgegangen.
Ja, habe ich gesehen. Eingesprungen und
Aber
platt gemacht.
man muss natürlich sagen, also das Line-Up war halt schon etwas in unserem Sinne.
Okay,
denn,
sehr fair.
Die anderen spielen nicht schlechter als wir.
Okay, das ist eine sehr, sehr faire Aussage. Dicker Applaus für dich. Geh nach hinten, geh zur Signing-Session und hol dir gib deine Autogramme. So rum
Ganz
geht's.
genau so. Das war das erste Showmatch von Heroes of the Storm Brawlmania.